Hello dear viewers, my name is Nino and you're watching Nino's Product, and today we're taking a closer look at the Foscam R4M. Now the interesting thing about the R4M is that it looks and performs a lot like the previous model called R4, the one with the very large resolution. Now the difference between this one and the predecessor model is that the R4M actually features a special AI algorithm which helps the camera distinguish between threats that are human and that are non-human, and enables the motion detection, or rather lets the motion detection get triggered by human-only threats. Now this is important for many reasons, one of which is that in the past we had a lot of triggers for random things really. For example, when the camera would switch from day to night, or rather its vision, when it would turn on the IR LEDs, it would usually create a detection for that. These are small things like that, but they take space on your micro SD card, and while the cameras now are set up in such a way that they overwrite the oldest recording with the newest one in case the camera, in case the micro SD card is full, it still is something that can be annoying, because who wants to go through a ton of recordings until you actually see what was up? If you are like me, you want to have a detection for stuff that is just relevant and not stuff that is irrelevant or not even visible. I had a case where a wasp had gotten in the house and that had triggered the camera. That kind of stuff does not seem to happen as often as before. Now I actually haven't had any kind of insect triggering this camera, and I've been having it for a while, but still we have yet to see. However, I can definitely tell you that the improvement is quite significant, and considering the fact that the price remains very close to the original one, I can imagine that these models will quickly replace everything from before, and I'm looking forward to it, because currently we only have 3 camera models from Foscam which feature this new AI technology. We have the R4M, which you're seeing here, the G4P, which is an outdoor camera with Wi-Fi, and the G4EP, which is the same outdoor camera without the Wi-Fi connectivity. Personally, I prefer the browser view over the actual mobile phone application. The mobile phone application itself is very good, but the browser view simply gives you more control over your camera and a lot more in terms of settings. I am using Chrome here and it works really well off the bat. They have actually updated their plugin. I mean, when I say they, I mean Foscam. So now it causes no trouble at all. You have the standard features. You can change the mode here. The camera could even record outside. You have WDR, which is a form of HDR. You gotta try it to see if you like it. And then NAA is a network NAA is a network auto adaptability feature, and what it does is effectively lowering the camera's stream quality to adapt to the internet you use to view it. For example, you're somewhere in a different country, you want to take a look at your camera at home, you have very limited mobile internet, it's not fast enough to transfer in the full 2K mode, so it's going to automatically downgrade its stream so that you don't waste all your internet, and at the same time you can actually see what's going on. Now, other than that, this camera also has a microphone and a speaker, meaning that you will be able to hear what's happening there, and you will, as a matter of fact, be able to talk whoever is on the other side of the camera. You can, for example, speak to your phone and they will hear it, which is rarely useful, but in some cases can be. I mean, imagine someone's trying to rob you and you're like, hey, fuck off. And I apologize for that. YouTube's probably gonna flag this video, but who cares? Let's move on. You get my point. And as you can see, you can also pan and tilt this camera. You have a lot of control over it, because as an indoor camera it comes with these features pre-installed. Now when it comes to setting up the device, it is quite simple. You can use the setup wizard and that is all. That's the beauty of Foscam, and one of the reasons why I'm such a fan of them, simply because you do not have to break your head in trying to somehow program the camera so that you can access it from outside your home network. Now, people who are tech savvy, and I mean really tech savvy, they know how to set up their router and all these DDNS settings, etc., in order for them to be able to access their camera from outside their home. In my case, I actually know how to do this, but I did not always. With Foscam, even if you don't know how to do it, you don't have to. Just use your setup wizard to set up the camera, log into the Foscam website once with your credentials, and you have direct connection. And by the way, you don't have to do the Foscam website thing if you just use your camera over your phone, because you need to register on the phone to use it, and it is the same process. Essentially, as soon as you've done this extremely simple thing that anyone could do, and I really mean anyone, your camera will connect to Foscam servers and will stream through them. meaning that you don't have to deal with these things at all. You don't have to bother with all the things that I've mentioned. It will work automatically. You can access it, for example, from your phone from anywhere around the world. It is very convenient, and that is something that I absolutely love about Foscam. Although I know how to do it myself, even for me it is still a pain. It's never as easy as just setting a few numbers. You gotta play around with it. At least that's how it's been for me whenever I try to do it. So it's just much better to do it this way. But some people have some security worries because this is transferred over a Chinese server. I personally don't think that Foscam's actually interested in watching my videos. They have millions of customers. I doubt they will actually take a look at all of them, or any of them as a matter of fact. So I use it without worry. But if you do worry, go ahead and work your way around the other path by setting it up. The camera allows it, if you know. Now let's go to the motion detection, the most important part. I did mention that the camera now has this new algorithm, and it will actually recognize things much better than it did before. Now you can set things as you will here. You can set it, the motion detection, to be scheduled, or if you are like me, you'll just turn it on and not think about it too much, simply because it will overwrite whatever's on the micro SD card. So you stick in a micro SD card, and you can use other ways as well, but I do the micro SD currently. You stick in a micro SD card, and as soon as it's full, the newest recording will just overwrite the oldest one, so you can record ad infinitum without thinking too much. The sound detection also works, but I'm not that big of a fan. The idea of the sound detection essentially is, for example, someone breaks a window, the camera hears it, it triggers. The problem with that is if you drop a pan or make a louder sound or even listen to music close to the camera, it might still trigger. So I tend to really rely only on the video detection, and with this new AI that has been given to us, it definitely is going to improve things quite significantly. So I suggest, if you're going to use it, stick to video detection of motion. But again, that is absolutely your choice. I'm not going to insist on any of these things. Now you can do various things here, things such as schedule recording, local alarm recording, but one of my favorite features here is the pre-recording feature. Now this is not new, we've had this in every other Foscam camera. What it does is effectively records a few seconds in loop constantly, so that as soon as the camera is triggered, it adds them. And in the end effect, what this looks like is, instead of you having a recording where you suddenly see someone who just broke into your door, the camera actually shows you 5 seconds before that happened. So you see 5 seconds of nothing, suddenly the door opens, suddenly a guy comes in, you know what I mean? This can be very useful because it adds us a bit more than we had before. I definitely like it, and I think it adds an additional layer of security. You can of course use the Foscam Cloud feature. It is a very good feature, although it does not record in your full quality that you see here. So I've been using it, and it's very useful. And again, it's an added layer of security. So if you, for example, worry that someone could come and pluck away the camera and run away with it, and you only were recording on the SD card, which I'll not advise, because you can also just record on an FTP server, for example, additionally. But if you did this, you would basically not have the recordings. With the Foscam Cloud feature, they're somewhere on the cloud. It's impossible for whoever is doing this to remove them somehow. But as we take a look at the night vision, you will see that it's pretty good. Now in this particular recording, it looks like it's a small field of view, but the camera is actually sitting on a chair very close to the objects, and as you can see the fish lens effect on the sides, you can recognize that the camera actually pans into a very wide angle. Now you could move it. It has its IR blasters straight to the front, so if you pay attention to the edge on the left, for example, where it's really dark, the IR blasters actually don't reach there. The camera sees in width a bit more than it actually illuminates, but it is still an excellent picture. I'm pretty happy with this. And in a normal room and normal setting, you will be able to see wall to wall. I have intentionally limited what I'm recording here because this is one of the rooms where I am, and I don't like recording everything. I don't want to show you guys everything that is visible in my room, let's say it like that. So in any case, I hope this video has been informative. And if you're interested in buying this camera, check out the link in the description. I'll have Amazon links there. And I hope to see you on the next one. Have a great day.